What's up, everybody? This is Mr. Full Service, and you are watching the Full Service. So, I got a video today for you from the Judiciary Committee where Christopher Wray was being questioned by Wes Hunt, and it does kind of get heated. So, I want to get into it and not talk too much. But first, before we get started, please, if you have not done so, hit the subscribe button. And then when you do that, hit that bell notification so you know when we're posting. All right? I appreciate it. Also, if you wouldn't mind, leave a like and a comment. Let me know what you think about the video. Let me know what you think we should be talking about and what we should watch next. All right? So let's get into it.
Biden's DOJ and the FBI. And as we were talking earlier, here we are again. President Trump endured an unprecedented raid at his home in Mar-a-Lago. President Biden's home, however, was respectfully browsed. President Trump is facing up to 400 years in federal prison for allegedly being in possession of classified documents he obtained as the commander-in-chief of these United States of America. And meanwhile, President Biden is facing no charges for the classified documents he had held at his time as a senator and a vice president, not the president of these United States of America.
Now, in case you're wondering what this is about, of course, this is about the raid at Mar-a-Lago and the supposed two-tier justice, where you see the way the DOJ and other intelligence agencies are handling the same situation. So Trump was in possession of what they accused are classified documents, and so was President Joe Biden. So the way that they went about it is kind of shady. So this is what they're talking about.
Last I checked, he had no legal authority to declassify those documents.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop Wes right there. So that is always a common misconception. I even had it myself, that I don't know if the vice president can or cannot declassify. But it turns out, if you guys have ever heard of a website, and the website's name is Verify This. Well, according to Verify This, and I'm going to actually pull it up on the screen for you, just so y'all can see it. Vice presidents do actually have the authority to declassify documents. So, as you guys can see, Verify This has said, of course, while Biden has not claimed he declassified the documents found at his home and office, that hasn't stopped some people on social media for claiming the vice president does not have the authority to declassify documents, implying Trump's defense would not apply to Biden. Now, several Verify readers asked the team if the vice president can declassify documents. Question, of course, can the vice president declassify documents? The sources that they use: Executive Order 13526. Also, Kel McClanahan, he's the executive director of the National Security Counselors, a nonprofit public interest law firm, and also Richard Immerman, Edward J. I'm not even going to do it. Family Distinguished Faculty Fellow in History at Temple University. So those are their sources. The answer that they came to is yes, the vice president can declassify documents. There is zero truth to the claim that vice presidents cannot declassify documents while they are in office, Kel McClanahan. Richard Immerman also said Biden had the ability to declassify documents when he served as vice president under the Obama administration. A vice president's authority to declassify information stems from Executive Order 13526, which former President Barack Obama issued in 2009 when Biden was vice president. The order specifies who is allowed to declassify or classify and declassify information. It says that the authority to classify information originally may be exercised only by the president and vice president, as well as agency heads and officials designated by the president. Okay. Now, as you can see, there are 4 categories of people who can declassify a document under the executive order: the official who originally classified it, their successor, a supervisory official, and either the originator or their successor or officials given declassification authority in writing by an agency head. Okay. Executive order explicitly names the vice president as one of the original classification authorities. So, yes, it turns out that the vice president can actually declassify. The vice president does have the authority to declassify. So I just wanted to share that part with you. And we are going to keep going with Mr. Wes Hunt. And, but like I said, the point of this channel, we want the truth, even as inconvenient as sometimes it is. We want the truth. So,
assuming President Trump was in possession of said classified documents, would those documents be more secure, surrounded by Secret Service at Mar-a-Lago, or in a box, in a garage, behind your Corvette? No, the answer to that question. Question for you, sir. What can you tell us about the status of the FBI's investigation of President Biden's classified documents found next to his Corvette in Delaware and those found at the Penn Biden Center? Do we have an update on that, sir?
What I can tell you is that there is an ongoing special counsel investigation led by Mr. Robert Hur, and we have FBI agents affiliated with it, working on it, working very actively and aggressively with him on that case. I obviously disagree with your description of the 2 standards. In my view, at least under my watch, we have 1 standard.
Okay.
And that.
Of course, he would disagree with that, right? But the American people aren't fooled. We can see that, yeah, absolutely. You're treating one with kid gloves and you're kind of expediting the other one. Yeah, we can see it.
That is, we're going to pursue the facts wherever they lead, no matter who likes it. And I add that last part because, especially in sensitive investigations, almost by definition, somebody's not going to like it.
So I understand, and that's actually why I led with the sentiment of the American people. I understand that's your sentiment. I do want to finish this. So I want everybody to talk about this dichotomy that we have seen. I get your point, sir, but that's just not what we see as the public, as we the people. We see one case being fast-tracked and one case being slow-walked. We see one president's home being raided, the other president's home being kindly searched. You have one government agency, the Secret Service, protecting the former president and his home, and another government agency, the FBI, raiding the same home. Now, to me, sir, that's tragically ironic. And we expect more from a functional constitutional republic, and these things shouldn't be happening. Now, it's my opinion that Joe Biden is the most unpopular president we have seen in a century, and that's why he knows the only way to stop President Trump from beating him in November is by putting him in jail.
Now, you notice that he led with, this is my opinion, this is the way that I look at it. But let me be honest with you. There are a lot of Americans now who see it the same way, because that is definitely the way it appears. It appears that you are trying to do as much as you possibly can in order to derail your political opponent. And that's just not the way that it's supposed to be done in a constitutional republic. So,
you talked about this, Mr. Fry. In the 247 years of this existence of this great nation, only one president has ever been indicted by the DOJ and has home raided by the FBI. Now, some have said that President Trump's indictment means that no one is above the law. Okay, all right, I would love to see that. But what about Hillary Clinton? And what about Joe Biden? And what about Hunter Biden, who is America's favorite son? Let me tell you something. I got a 4-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old daughter at my house. Hunter Biden, to me, is like glitter. He is on everything, and you cannot get rid of him.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Yo, that right there was one of my favorite expressions from this whole video. He said, Hunter Biden is like glitter. It's all over. You can't get rid of it. Yeah. Couldn't put that more perfectly.
And yet nothing is going to be done about this. We're sick of it. James Comey decided not to prosecute Hillary Clinton despite overwhelming evidence that she committed crimes. And as I recall, it was the position of the FBI to not prosecute because they didn't want to interfere with the presidential election. What do you call this?
James Comey literally stood up in front of the American people and said the reason why we did not pursue, even though there is definitely evidence that she did criminal or she was guilty of criminal activities, because we did not want to interfere in a presidential election, we chose to not forgo any further charges. But like I said, you see the two-tier justice. If your name is Trump, they're at you. If you're associated with Trump, they're at you. They're at your neck because they are so afraid that he will run and win again.
The Iowa caucuses are in 6 months. 6 months. I think the American public would expect to see this from Cuba and from Venezuela and from Russia and from China, but not here. The people expect us to have blind justice. They expect equal justice under the law. It is not the job of the DOJ or the FBI to prosecute Joe Biden's top political opponent, who is leading in every single primary poll, and the Iowa caucuses are in 6 months. Let the people decide. It's our job to uphold the Constitution. As a West Point grad and military veteran, this is the Constitution I give my life to protect, and I expect us all to uphold it likewise. Thank you so much for being here.
Mr. Chair.
Listen, I can't say it any better than Wes Hunt just said it, but I do also want to address something. I've heard over and over again that, yes, the president can declassify. The president can declassify, but he has to follow a procedure. Well, I've asked the question over and over again, what is the procedure? Because I've poured through the internet. I've talked to every lawyer. I've talked to every constitutional lawyer that I know. And none of them can actually tell me the process. They were like, there's no actual written down legal process that you have to go through. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what I ended up coming to on the internet, because, you know, the internet's a wonderful place. And just in case y'all don't know, I absolutely love this website right here. This, in case y'all are wondering what I'm using, is called Verify This. Verify This, you can actually go up here and check out their mission statement and see what they actually do in order to stay factual. This is, like I said, this is why I actually really like them. So let's see what they said. Yes, the president can declassify documents, but there isn't a set protocol they have to follow. Okay. So we can actually scroll down and you can see, of course, this is the question. Can the president declassify documents? These are the sources that they used. U.S. Department of the Navy versus Egan, Executive Order 13526. This is Kel McClanahan again, and also Richard Immerman. The New York Times versus the CIA. Now you can actually press these and they will actually take you to their sources. The answer, yes, the president can declassify documents while in office, but there isn't a set protocol they have to follow. The U.S. classification system has 3 levels: top, secret, secret and confidential. Top secret, secret and confidential. That is based on the level of damage that its release would cause to the national security of the United States. This is Kel McClanahan. When you classify a document, that means that only people with a security clearance equal to the classification or higher can read it. A sitting U.S. president has wide-ranging authority to classify and declassify certain documents, but former presidents do not have authority over classification and declassification. Current presidents can classify documents as long as they can make a plausible argument that it is related to national security. On the other hand, the president doesn't have to give any reason for declassifying the information. Now, this is according to McClanahan. He can just say, I decide that this should be declassified, and it's declassified. A 2009 executive order directs the head of a government agency that originally deemed information classified to oversee its declassification and set some rules for that process. But those protocols outlined in the executive order don't apply to the president. However, presidents generally, that means not always, but usually, generally follow an informal protocol when declassifying documents. This is Richard Immerman. First, the president will consult all departments and agencies that have an interest in a classified document. Those departments or agencies then provide their assessment as to whether the document should stay classified for national security reasons. If there is a dispute among the agencies, they debate. But the president ultimately makes the decision on declassification. Now, there's more. I suggest you actually go over to verify this. You can read this article for yourself, and you can actually hit those little leaflets that will tell you exactly what I was just saying. So, yes, let's see what we've learned so far. The president can absolutely declassify what he sees fit because he has already been privileged to that information, right? President Trump can declassify what he saw fit. There was no protocol, no set protocol that he had to follow. Generally, they follow a protocol, but it's not set, and it's not mandated. It's not something that he has to do, which is why I've made this argument over and over again. Why is he actually in court when there is, this is what they're going to have to argue. This is what they're going to have to argue in court. There has been precedent set. So that is why I tell people that I believe, and this is my belief, I believe this is political theater. This is just Russian collusion all over again. It is to basically try to ruin the good name or the good deeds of a former president and the political rival of the current sitting president. And unfortunately, they are using the intelligence agencies. And let's be real, people lost faith in the intelligence agencies a long time ago. Like me personally, I've not had faith in them. Well, I don't know if ever, but I've also not really had a lot of faith in our government anyway. And this just reinforces everything that I've told people. So, all right. Well, that's the end of this video. Please, 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 please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. Also, you can check us out on the Trifecta Hour on TikTok every Friday at 8 p.m. Okay? It'll be me, myself, of course, me and myself. It will be my friend AJ from AJ's Rant Room, my girl Keisha, or we call her Inked, and my twin brother, the real Prince Blue. You can find all of us on TikTok. You can find all of us on Instagram. You can actually find the Trifecta Hour itself on all those social media outlets. Check us out on YouTube, okay? We actually post our past shows to YouTube. So if you haven't got a chance to check them out, go check them out. See if it's something you would be interested in, because we do go through quite a bit. And this weekend, this Friday, we got a nice show. Tomorrow, we got a good show. As a matter of fact, we're going to start a new segment where we dispel a lot of myths. This week, the Central Park Five. We will be dispelling the myth of the Central Park Five and Donald Trump's involvement in that whole case. So, all right, that is what we will be up to. So, like I said, if you don't mind, check us out. Like, if you like it, let us know, stay for a bit, leave us a comment. Also, we like to go live and we like to have civil discourse. So we like engagement. We actually like talking to people. So, all right, y'all, like I said, come join us. Hopefully we'll see you guys soon.